Hi everyone, Scrappy Kathy here with Scrap Squad Sunday. This week's scrap lift is this beautiful, rather simple, gorgeous Easter page with an adorable little baby photo. I'm going to kind of make an Army basic training graduation page, and I'm going to use a few Calvinball points, but I'm not going to go crazy because this is a very minimalist kind of page, and I don't want to stray too far from that by going crazy with Calvinball points. One of the Calvinball rules that I have not used so far is to make a masculine themed page. So I'm going to do my best to do that and still put in a few whimsical elements. I'm trying to I'm debating right now. I'm going to kind of keep that handy. I'm debating right now. These are the things that I've gathered and assembled for the page, including the strip of photos. This first one, this photo is the transportation school building where he got his training. He's got his training in transportation and logistics. This was as he was standing on the stage receiving his diploma at graduation, and that's him with James after the ceremony. And this was on the 8th of March. So a lot of the things I'm using on here, which I'll point out to you later, are from the supplies I inherited from Ava and Allie's grandma. They're 20-year-old supplies. I have a video out on that haul. So I'm trying to decide whether these things would be better on a cream background or this kind of army greenish one. I have lots of different shades of green, and of course there's some red in the photos, which would look good with green. I've got one single flower that's going to be on there, and it's this color, which I think would look great with that green. So I think I'm going to go with the green. Let me put the cream away, and I'll pull these things over to the side. I'm going to place this kind of to the right of the page instead of the beautiful bunny print paper that was in the original. I've got this Harlequin print, and I did some doodling to kind of make some triangles because I get points for triangles, and I thought that didn't really affect the page. I'm gonna add some foam over to this side to kind of bolster it. Let me do this. These sheets are from two different collections of kind of ephemera papers, if you will, that came from that collection of supplies from Wendy, my granddaughter's other grandmother, who passed away many years ago, and her husband, her widower, just passed away, and he had kept all of these supplies. Okay, so I thought this paper was amazing. I used some, let's see, bundled sage or shabby shutters, I forget which, to ink the edges of this paper, including the torn edge down here. And then I'm going to put the photo there. I'm going to maybe move it down. I still want to see some of this, but I'm going to be putting some embellishments up there, so I don't really know how well that's going to work. I do want to kind of scooch this under. I'm going to cut this down a little. It's wood grain from a 6x6 paper pad that's all different colors of wood grain. You can see there's a purple wood grain on the back. I'm just adding this as a just a little extra accent. And I love layers of torn papers. A single torn paper is nice, but I love it when there's a torn layer on top of another torn layer. And if they cooperate when I'm trying to place them, it's even nicer. Okay, and I've got a little bit of a lift problem there. So I tell you what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this is kind of falling down. What am I getting bits of glue on there? Okay, I'm going to put this under here, there, and that stays up and it gives the right shadowing to show that that's lifted. And that may not be important to a lot of people, but for some reason it's important to me. Okay, so I'm going to do, let's see, I think I want this over this way. And I've got some foam on the back of this too, so that I can I thought it would be a good idea to wrinkle this paper, and now it's kind of curving around in some strange ways. I want to do this here. I'm going to do it like this, and maybe do that way. I don't think it's important. I don't think it matters if I cover up his legs there. So I want to take, let me do another one of these. I'm going to put it here. Okay. And then I'm going to put this on one as well. Okay, and I think I need another one over here. I'm just taking the adhesive off one side and I'm just placing it so it won't lean down. So I've got just a tiny bit of blue in there, and I've got these green leaves which really look nice with that background paper. And this paper, the wood grain, kind of introduces some different greens. I know that I want to put this up here. I don't know if I want to use it behind, just right behind the photo, or back up in the, I'm going to cut it down, and I can use that for something else. And let me get a little glue. I'm just going to let that stay out for the moment. I am going to add this frame. I should have done that before I did that. I'm going to add this frame right here. And I'm just going to do it flat on there. It's kind of stands out enough just by its pattern. I'm gonna add, there is a let's see, in the original there's this kind of disc that has a sentiment, and I'm going to add that kind of right there as well. I'm going to put one of these dots behind that circle, and I might put a little bit of glue on the clothespin, or peg, as my British friends call them. Okay, so the clothespin is resting right there. And I'm going to actually add a few things to make this something of a cluster. The clock is there because Barrett is kind of notorious for not waking up easily. So now he's he's on his own, and I'm gonna do this right there, and that has kind of an army green heart and a beige heart, and they just fit with this color scheme so perfectly. I do also have this bit that I thought I might add in right there, but I'm not I don't want all of it. I'm just going to commit and cut that. That is a piece of ephemera from 49 and Market. And what I really want is the lace. So I'm really going to kind of cut that up and see if I can get this lace tucked in under here. I know you're saying lace on a Barrett layout, the color is right and I get a Calvinball point, but that's not the only thing. I kind of like throwing in elements, unexpected elements that maybe in this case I'm taking the lace as kind of a symbol of the tradition, the history and tradition. I have this element. It's a rainbow cut file, and I'm just gonna kind of squeeze it in right there. Again, not I think I'm going to go ahead and tie this rather than string it around. I'm going to kind of simplify that idea. I'll tie it in a bow and then try to somewhat tame the bow. Okay, that will work. It still has kind of a rough hewn sort of texture to it, which I like. I have this tab which I wanted to add. One of the Calvinball points. Just kind of a note here. Towards the end of the month, I start trying to use some of the points that I haven't used. Like I don't do a lot of stitching, so I may do some stitching on my next layout. And one of the points is for faith, anything related to faith. And I don't use a lot of religious symbolisms in my on my pages, and I thought that Believe, which came from a Bella Boulevard faith-based collection a few years back, I thought that would be appropriate. Adding this camera flare there. I have a lot of things that I probably kind of gathered here that I probably won't use. I love using butterflies, as you know, as a symbol of change and transformation, and that certainly applies here. I'm going to put it, I don't want to cover up the word believe, so I'm not going to put it there. The butterfly's a little bigger than I thought it was. How about over here on top of the rainbow? And then kind of behind the rainbow, I have this little die cut sunshine. This is from a Bramble Fox die that's absolutely one of my favorite die sets that I own. It has clouds and sunshine and umbrellas and all kinds of fun things. I'm going to leave that there and kind of have my design going this way. And it's, by now, as you can tell, it's pretty much departed from the original, although very much influenced by it. I'm going to put this, oh no, this is what I'm going to put up here. I want something to kind of fill in that spot there between the Believe and the Viewmaster. And behind the sunshine, I have this blue cloud with little raindrops. And I get a point for cloud and a point for rain, so I've got both in there. And that blue looks so subtle against the green, where it kind of could have stood out in a negative way. It's kind of okay. And then I have these trees, which are stamped, so I get a point for stamping and a point for trees. There, I have some hexagons that I'm just going to place here, and I'm going to try to line them up. They move around on the liquid glue, so I have to fight with them a little bit. Do that. Okay, I kind of like that. I have this, which is a short run of a scalloped border strip, which I thought I would just kind of sneak in right there. Again, adding a little color without making it too fanciful. Or there, in the original, there is a strip of measuring tape, and I kind of wanted to work this in. I'm probably going to do it on the well, actually, I have room to do it right under the photo there, but I cover up those musical notes, but then this is still there and that would still be there. So let me do a shorter run of this, and it's very sticky. Lots of good adhesive even after 20 years on this. And my friend Sharon says she has some of this and some of these kind of vintage supplies, which blows me away. I was nowhere near scrapbooking 20 years ago. I'm going to put this down here. Just, where's mine? There it is. I'm kind of going off the reservation with this this page. I'm going to put this up here, and that's going to maybe serve as my title. And I have a few that is a washi tape sticker from the papery pack of Vicki Boutin's Discover and Create. I'm going to add this guy maybe right on the flower, only I'm going to put some foam behind him so he stands up on there. And yeah, I'm kind of embellishing like a Calvinball page, but I think I'm keeping with the same design. I love that simple design of the sheet back there, and then the sheet kind of going at a perpendicular to it. What I wanted to say, a horizontal and vertical line there. And I may go back and I have an idea for another page that uses this same lift but in a different way. I have a ticket here that I wanted to stick in. It introduces yet a different green, but it's a green that's found in this paper down here. So I'm going to do the ticket right there, and I have this little adhesive label thingy that I thought I might put there, and I'm going to put the center right back in it. And then I'm going to use that as a base for adding a couple things. I need a bee, because this is a page about bee, and I'm going to put the bee right there. And I have the dragonfly, so I don't need that. I do need stars, and I'm going to put one star. Let's see. I'm losing my stars. What on earth have I done? That stuck way too well, and I think I'm going to put it there. And I need a button, and I'm going to take this lovely green that's exactly the right color of green. And you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to pull this up. Well, I'm going to cut out another one of these clocks. I have a whole sheet full of them, and I'm going to distress the edges. I don't like that cut edge. I'm going to put this button I was going to put it in between these two, but I may just put it right here. Puffy sticker. And I have my hearts. I have my one star. I suppose I could do another star, maybe right here in the sky thingy, and then another one right here, and maybe I was going to do something like that down here. I have this arrow, which I was going to use down in this corner. It's chipboard, and I needed chipboard for the point. So let me see if I can get this down. I had a seashell in a good color scheme to use, but there's no and I picked this one. It's a scallop shell because Barrett has recently discovered scallops. I made scallops for him the other night, and when it was just him and me at dinner, and I'm going to go ahead and add it even though I don't get a point. The beach point has been taken away. It was one of the temporary points. So this will add some of that pink color. And Barrett kind of have a thing that I use pink on his layouts because he once told me that he was fine with that. I have a wood veneer geotag that I want to use. I think I'm going to do something else down here. Where do I want to use this? I want to use this maybe right here. Let's do that. And I have a little bit of texture paste I'm going to use to do these little footprints. And where's my texture paste? My texture paste is Vicky Bouton's Creative FX Prism Glaze. It's no longer available, but I happen to have a little bit of it left. And I haven't ever tried it in a small stencil like that. So I get the stenciling point and the texture paste point there. It doesn't look great, but it's fine. It kind of looks like soft footprints in soft sand. Not sure that that's a look I was going for, but it is what it is. And I'm going to clean this little stencil right now. And I hate to do that on camera, but my experience tells me that that's something I need to do. Okay, let me put that off to the side. And I have a the B stamp that I thought I might add. Well, maybe I could do it right on here. How's that? Oh, okay. Interesting. This is forest moss, and it's almost the same color as this paper. So I'm going to do some stamping around in different places. Okay, I like that. It kind of looks like part of like a patterned paper. Okay, I was going to use a photo corner right here. I have two of them, but I don't need two. I mean, I guess I could use the other one here. Why don't I? It kind of underscores the importance of that location that he spent so much time and did so much work. So I'm going to do that. I have some very masculine looking sequins here, but let me get a I'm going to get a word strip. I have assembled some potential Calvinball points that, or things that could get me Calvinball points. And I'm going to add that right there. This is Hey You, having fun. And I'll add some sequins on there. Not a lot of sequins. Okay, and on here, I was looking for a tab, but that is a tab, so I don't need that. Arrow, I don't, well, this is an arrow, so I don't need that. Gold, I have gold on there, so I don't need that. Flag banner, these fishtail ends, that's all on here, so I don't need that. Paper clip, I guess the peg isn't enough, won't count for that. So I'll see if I can work this in, and then those are done. Maybe I'll put it down here. Okay. And I needed chevrons, so I was going to use some from this washi tape. And just as I said at the beginning, I wasn't gonna just overload it with Calvinball points. Here I am, because it's kind of one of those things that if I've gathered them, I got to use them, right? So what I'm gonna do is tear this piece of washi and put one strip of it down in this corner, and let it end at that kind of torn, nasty edge like that. And I may go over that with some adhesive just to kind of keep it that torn. And I'm going to try to work this in with this guy. Okay, I think that works. Now, I have my standard over embellished page. Let's do a few sequins kind of down in here, and then I may do a few up at the top. All right, these are black. This sequin mix is called Genuine, and it's an unusual mix. It's extra sparkly, and I love so many of the bits that are in it. It has those little black sequins that are my favorite. Those little ones that are shaped like that, those just are so sparkly. And then there's a brown that's kind of a rich sort of amber. So it's not exactly a brown. I'm going to call it amber, and I'm going to use a lot of them. because they work really well with this background paper. There, and I'm going to take another one. And they're small, which somehow makes the sparkle more masculine. Does that make any sense? Okay, there. Now, I'm going to come up here, and I'm going to do some sequins kind of in conjunction with, right beside these dots that are actually part of Vicki Boutin's design. And the placement, therefore, following her placement, should be more artistic than any placement I would come up with. So I'll put these down. I'll get some amber. Go in here. There. And I have a flat white one that I'll put there. That sounds like a coffee drink. And I'll use this large one over here by the small dot. I'll do another black one right here, and we are done. I kind of did, whoops, I turned over my sequins. I will fix that. I do have a date to stamp on here, and I have to make sure that I'm not stamping it upside down. I'm going to do it right smack there, and I have Nuvo drops to put in the center of this flower. And it kind of just adds to the black dots there. I know that there's something I want to put here. I didn't want to leave that blank, so I'm going to go with that. And I think this is filled in enough. I didn't put anything on that label. I suppose I could do another star on that label. Just to kind of populate it a little bit. Okay, and that's me done with a basic training graduation page that was inspired by a beautiful baby page. So, oh happy day. I'm happy with the distribution of the kind of pinkish colors. I don't mind the red in the photos. There's a little bit of red here, a fair amount there, and some there. I like all the different greens. And I think, just this is me speaking, of course, but I think the Calvinball points don't necessarily detract from the design. And I think there are quite a few, not nearly all of them, and unlike most pages, I am not going to be adding any more after I stop filming. So what you see is what will be posted So I thank you for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye.